My name is Dion Dillard, and I am here with a public service announcement regarding Black Survivors Matter. For Black women, sexual violence is an incredibly pervasive issue that routinely goes unreported and underaddressed. Black women experience sexual violence at higher rates than their white counterparts. More than 40% of Black women experience domestic violence in their lifetime, but Black women are more than 2.5 times more likely to be murdered by men than white women. These numbers confirm what we know to be true. Sexual violence is undeniably linked to oppression. Black women are especially vulnerable to sexual violence because of the intersection of race and gender. This year, the nation and the world came together for both George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. But note how often Black women are not the individuals we rally for. It is more typical for Black women to be left behind. Why? They experience the same violence and injustice, yet the disturbing reality is Black women are easier targets for abuse, but rarely seen as victims. The systems designed to support survivors can be additional barriers to protection and justice for Black women. The relationship between the Black community and law enforcement is fraught with abuse, mistrust, and neglect. As a result, Black women are less likely to seek out help from the same law enforcement and law officials. Let us not forget that law enforcement can also be perpetrators of sexual violence. In 2015, Daniel Holtzclaw, a former Oklahoma City police officer, was convicted of sexual violence involving 8 women. 8 Black women. Daniel Holtzclaw specifically targeted low-income Black women with criminal records because he thought they were less likely to come forward. When Black women do come forward, their domestic violence experience is less likely to be taken as truth and supported. This lack of support has devastating consequences. In 2004, a 20-year-old mother of 3, Ms. Tondalo Hall, was sentenced to 30 years for failing to protect her children from her abusive boyfriend. Even though Ms. Hall did not injure her children and was not present for the abuse, she spent more time in jail than the actual abuser, who only spent 2 years in jail and 8 years on probation. When Black survivors defend themselves, they can also be at risk for severe consequences. Alexis Martin was only 15 years old when she was accused of setting up a robbery that led to the death of her exploiter, a 32-year-old man who forced her into the drug and sex trade. Even though she was not directly involved in the death of her abuser, she was tried as an adult and sentenced to 21 years to life in prison in 2015. This is a small glimpse into the relationship Black women have with the criminal justice system. Unlike their white counterparts, law enforcement and the legal system are not seen as viable avenues of recourse. For too long, these systems continue to oppress and discriminate against people of color. A severe lack of trust in the legal system to protect Black women is created. And for these very reasons, at the Safe Sisters Circle, we felt the need to shed the light on the experience of Black survivors that is so often forgotten. Support our work to uplift Black survivors in Ward 7 and 8 of Washington, D.C. by buying our Black Survivors Matter apparel. Not only do the funds raised go to the organization, but with your purchase, you are contributing to the wider effort to visualize, verbalize, and most importantly, recognize Black survivors. We are a resource prepared to help see our sisters. Please use us, help support us, and help us spread our message so we can extend our mission to those who need it. Thank you.